Alright people, Mike Saladin here again. Welcome back to another Baldur's Gate 3 video. Today I'm going further into the Underdark, doing some more of the quests around here. One of the main ones I decided to do was to go to this Arcane Tower and find these mushrooms for the Mind Flayer that we met at like the Mushroom Guys camp. So to get past here, I noticed there was all these little turrets that were attacking me and stuff. So I figured I better bring in Gale because like he's a magic user and this is an arcane tower or a wizard's tower. So I thought we might need him. And it turned out if you picked up a certain like mushroom sort of thing from a certain tree that sort of deactivates magic. You could, like, if you stood close enough to these turrets, they would turn themselves off. Um, so I equipped my other party members with that mushroom or the plant or whatever it is, the anti-magic plant. And as long as they stood next to the turret, it would shut the turrets down. And if you attack the turrets with lightning magic, you can also temporarily stun them. I was trying to figure out if you could completely destroy them with lightning magic, so I was messing around for a little while here, just trying to figure it out. But I couldn't seem to permanently turn these things off. So I was just going back and forth experimenting, trying to see what I was supposed to do. But it seemed like, yeah, the main plan is you're supposed to get like one of your party members to stand next to these, and then you split the party. Basically, you leave a party member with one of those flyers next to one of the turrets. Then you could just run ahead. Or I suppose you could also just place the plant on the ground next to one of these turrets, and then that would permanently keep it shut down, I suppose. But I didn't want to abandon these flyers because what if there's like other turrets, magic turrets, in like a future part of the game where I could use some of those flyers? Then I'd have to come all the way back here and try to find them again. So I tried to use the elevator, but it said it was disabled at the moment, so I couldn't really go up further into the tower. I left a few party members stood next to the turrets around here so that I could freely run around in this room. I'd gotten fairly damaged and like badly injured during this, but I'm just I think I short rested there a few times, and I just decided I would explore this tower, try to figure out what I was supposed to do, because I knew there must be some way of powering this elevator, and it must be below the elevator, because why would the power source be above the elevator when we can't get up there yet? So I think when I was out on this balcony, I zoomed out the camera eventually, and I noticed there seemed to be like a path to jump down on these mushrooms. I tried lighting these braziers because I thought that might power stuff up. And Gale did have a comment about there must be some way to light these. So I thought they might be something to do with powering the elevator as well. And they kind of are, but they're not exactly what you have to interact with. So after running around for a while in here, I eventually figured out that, yeah, this mushroom path to jump down seemed to be like the correct way to go. I think I drank a potion that made me jump further. Or made Gale be able to jump further, and I also took like the potion of glorious vaulting, and then I think I took a feather foot potion or something it's called, so that you don't take damage from like really long falls. So then I just used the glorious vault potion to really jump my way down here to the bottom of the tower, because I thought the power source for the elevator must be like at the bottom of the tower in the basement or something. So I came down to this like mushroom garden, and I was pretty sure this is the garden that the Mind Flayer back at the main mushroom guy's camp that he must have been talking about. So I took more of these anti-magic flowers and stuff, Because again, I didn't know if they would be useful in the future, where if there was more like magic turrets or magical defenses to certain areas, that I might need these flowers to turn off the magic. Obviously, it has a downside, as in like Gale. He can no longer use magic if you're carrying one of those flowers, because it also disables the player's magic. Luckily, I managed to get my way into this door eventually. Gale's not really a lock picking character, so I should have probably sent Aztarian or someone down here with him. But yeah, I managed to get in the door anyway, so it wasn't too bad. And then I found like this laboratory down here. A lot of stuff to steal, a lot of ingredients for potions and stuff. It was a bit hard to select it. That's one of my few complaints about this game, is trying to select items on console is a bit fiddly and a bit tricky to line up. On PC, you're probably just clicking on every individual item that you want with a mouse, and it's a bit easier. But on console, you have to like scroll through a menu, or you have to stand next to the items you want and then sort of press on the directional buttons to swap between all the nearby items. And it can be a bit tricky to get it to select the actual thing you want. You get used to it, but it can be a bit annoying if there's a lot of stuff nearby to pick up. So I found this generator thing, and I was like, yeah, this must be what powers the elevator. So I was just turning on lanterns and all kinds of stuff. And then I realized, what if I put one of these anti-magic flowers in here? Because I thought maybe it actually is what powers stuff. Maybe the like trick is that you think the thing that disables magic is actually what actually enables it when you put it into this generator. And it turned out that was correct. And then the elevator got powered up. So I headed back upstairs, got on the elevator, and then we made it to this floor where I think I found all the mushrooms I needed. They were just growing around here. The Tongue of Madness, I needed like a few of those. I took this pitchfork that was here, which you can use as a weapon. I don't know if I ever will use it, but I just thought I'd better take it because I haven't seen a pitchfork anywhere else in the game. And then there was these other mushrooms on this shelf. Can't remember what their name is exactly, but I grabbed those up, and that was pretty much. I could have left right about now because that was what we came here for. Was those two different kinds of mushrooms. But I thought I better fully explore the tower while I'm here, and it was quite an ordeal to get in here past all those turrets and stuff. And it took a little while to find this tower. I had to go out of my way really to find it. So I thought, while we're here, we might as well steal everything that we can and make sure we try not to leave anything that valuable behind. So I ascended to another floor. There seemed to be some sort of enemy up here that I'd activated. So I think that I ascend to another floor. I just kept saving all the time in case I died, because I didn't really want to have to like redo all the getting past those turrets and stuff again. So I found these Githyanki. I think that's who it is. The Githyanki glyphs, or whatever you would call these rare discs that have Githyanki writing on them. So Lizelle was very interested in that, of course. So we gave one to her and asked her to read it out, what it was. And it turned out to be what she calls propaganda about their history. I think she might be wrong, to be honest, and this is the actual history. And she's just denying it because of her personal views about her queen and stuff. And that actually gave us a quest to find the truth about this Orpheus figure and what really happened to him after we had Lizelle read this stuff. So it seemed quite important because it became like a personal quest for us to be able to do this. So we'll see how that goes later. And I'm glad I brought Lizelle here so that we could have her look at that. Because I probably would have picked those up and then just never remembered that I had them. And I don't think I had an opportunity to like show Lizelle back at camp or whatever. I probably would have just forgot that they were there. Or I would have taken them and put them in like the party storage or whatever back at camp, and most likely forgotten that they were there, because I'm really bad at picking up like every book and note in the world, sort of glancing at it quickly and going, I'll read that later, and then just never getting around to it. But I do collect every book and note, and I just send them back to my camp mainly. So I was being wary of this red eye line of someone that was watching me from that side of the room. Didn't want to start a fight in here because it seemed like they were on high ground and they would have an advantage if I got spotted. So I was trying to go around the edge. The red light did go over me a few times, so it seemed maybe they could not just see me down here. But I did eventually, I think I ascended to the next floor. Well, I had another quick look around here, just making sure I picked everything up. Checked all the cupboards and everything. And then I ascended, and I think I fought these guys up here then. Yeah, let's see. Up at the top floor, I ran into these mechanical sort of suits of armor or whatever. I think I made the wrong dialogue choice here, or maybe there was no way out of this peacefully. But this guy, he just started attacking me. So we got into a bit of a brawl with these robots. Because they seem to be powered by some sort of electricity, I think I made a mistake using Gale's electrical powers there. What an idea I did have after the fight was, what if I threw that barrel of water I picked up as Karlach? What if I just had her throw it at one of them? Would that like short circuit them or something? I'd like to try that in the future. I think I was trying to shove this guy off the edge, but he was too strong to shove or something like that. They were doing quite a bit of damage to me. These guys weren't really pushovers. But I do think I managed to get through it pretty well after we took down this main guy here. Bernard, or whatever his name was. Yeah, I just surrounded him really and left the other archer guys at the edge. They seemed to be missing a lot of shots, so it seemed like it was okay if I just like put all my effort into just wheeling on this guy, trying to take him down. But I think, did I start sending people? No, yeah, I just finished off Bernard first here. Just kept wheeling on him. We managed to wear him down pretty quickly. And then I dealt with these archer guys that were all over the place once we got Bernard down here. Or actually, I planted Cloud of Daggers over there. It's probably my most powerful bard attack that I have is Cloud of Daggers. It can be quite useful. So that, yeah, I think after this I just took this guy down with the next few shots. When he was doing all this electronic stuff, this is when I started thinking I should throw water on him. But yeah, I didn't get to test that. So yeah, we took him down, and then I just went around the room, took down all the archers, and I think I just skipped along past some of that footage because it was basically just the same thing, just wearing down these guys one by one. I think this fight took a little bit longer than usual because I had Gale with me, and I really don't use Gale that much. So I'm not really up to speed on all his abilities and whatever. So he's here instead of Shadowheart, I think, who I normally bring everywhere. And she's sort of like our healer and our biggest like support character. So we took a lot more damage than usual because she wasn't here. Found this like big spear or whatever on Bernard and some keys and stuff. Not sure I figured out what that key goes to. But yeah, I went around the tower and just collected everything up here. This was the top floor. I don't think there was anywhere else to really go unless I missed it. There could be like secret passages or teleporting devices or something in this tower that takes you to another area. But I didn't explore it that thoroughly because I was eager to get back to the mushroom guys in this mind flayer and see what he does with this potion. I had a feeling the potion wasn't going to work because it seemed too convenient that in Act 1 we were going to cure the parasite already. And it's why, and everybody else we've spoken to about curing this parasite in Act 1, they've all been talking nonsense so far, and everything they've done hasn't worked out. So I thought, yeah, again, this guy, he does seem like he's trying to help more than most of the other characters that we ran into. But also, I just think he's not going to be able to help us really either. I took his potion, even though I thought it might be a bad idea. Because everyone else who tried to help, their ideas were pretty bad or end badly for us in the past. So we seem to be trying to weaken the parasite's defenses, and I tried to do that. Use my willpower to shut down the parasite or whatever. But I just failed all these skill checks like one after the other. So and my health was going down during this, so I was pretty sure I was gonna die or something here. But thankfully I managed to live through it pretty easily. Um, So yeah, I passed. I failed this skill check as well. So I don't know if it's scripted that you have to fail these skill checks, or if you actually can get lucky and pass them. Uh, but eventually the mind flayer he just gave up, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't get past any of these defenses. This is like nothing I've ever seen really." And we sort of just realized that we wasted our time doing this. And I think he gives us a ring of protection or something to make up for this being a failure. But first, I had to pay him something. I was like, I'm not gonna give him money, so I went through some of the other dialogue options, and one of the things he said, or one of the things you could say was a bard option, where it was just tell him like a really memorable tale or whatever. So yeah, bardic performance down there. Perform one of the adventures, one of these ballads, Ballad of the Brains or whatever. And we did that, and he seemed pretty impressed with that. And then he was just like, "Okay, take your ring. That was a great story or whatever." So I'm not sure what we gained here really by doing this. It might have been just a big waste of time, but it was a fun quest, and I did enjoy exploring that Arcane Tower. My characters really messed up after the potion. They had some like really negative effects happening, so I had to wait for that to go away. And I gave Asterion the ring because I thought he could use the protection from the parasite the most, because he seemed the most willing to give into its powers or whatever. But yeah, eventually I went back to where this boat was, where I killed those Draugrs earlier, and we took the boat and got on with the main quest. So this quite long cutscene played when we were on the boat. Then these Draugr pulled up alongside. I thought we were going to get in a fight, have a bit of a like pirate battle on these boats. He just jumped aboard. I like that there was the option of athletics to just push this guy into the water. But I thought it would be better to try to infiltrate these people, and not mention that I took out his comrades back at that village, where there was the hunter guys who were after the gnome that had escaped or whatever, and I went and got the boots off her that belonged to their commander, and I cured the gnome of its poison, and then I just killed those guys in the village to get rid of them and complete that quest. And I do plan to take down all these Druger people if the opportunity presents itself. But I'm mainly here to try and get the head of this pale elf, or is it another drow elf, I think. Um, One of the like big mushroom plant people. They said they wanted his head, and they would reward us for doing that. So I'll try to talk my way past as many of these people as possible. Try to infiltrate the base, a bit like the goblin camp. Try to pretend that I'm here to help or whatever, and stealthily take down the leaders in the background before I have to go into like a full scale battle with everyone or whatever. And also the main goal is to take down Near, I think his name was Nere, Near, but like Near Automata or whatever, or Near Replicant. That's how I'm gonna remember his name, even though it's spelt differently. Um, but yeah, I just talked my way past all these Draugr. They seem to fall for my nonsense. This guy, he wasn't very happy about it. He was just trying to tell me to go see the commander. So I found all these gnomes and this commander lady who wanted her boots back. Um, Karlak wasn't very happy that we were helping these people. Or she was like, we need to get these gnomes out of here or whatever. Because we did promise the other gnome that we helped with the poison. That we were gonna free her friends or whatever. So we gave this lady back her boots, even though I kind of wanted to keep them, and I don't think she deserved those boots back. But again, I was just trying to infiltrate this place and make as little trouble as possible for myself. Um, so yeah, after that conversation, I figured out we needed to blow up a wall of collapsed rubble or whatever, because that's where this drow elf guy was. He was trapped in there in this room that's filled with poison gas. But there's a few gnomes in there as well. So it seems like I could blow up the door. I've got these barrels back at my camp. I've been collecting all the explosive barrels and oil barrels and barrels of fire wine and just anything that'll blow up. I've been keeping it back at my camp. But instead I decided to go for a walk around this area, try to talk to everyone, and try to recruit some maybe helpful people to sabotage the other Draugr or whatever, or that'll turn against this Near guy. So I found these two arguing about getting paid. They've been here so long and they want their money and nobody's paying them. So I decided to like sort of try and twist these guys around to my side. I used some deception here to say that the True Soul cult or whatever you would call it, that they betrayed me and now I want revenge. And then he was like, And then he decided to give me this offer. He's gonna pay us to help him take down Near, because he's got plenty of money and we'll split it if we get together and take him down. And I was like, yeah, I'll agree to that, because I could use some more allies around this place. Because it seems to be there's a lot of Draugr around here, and it will be quite a tricky battle to fight them all the way they are now. But this guy, he also mentioned that we need to take down this little floating magic orb thing that's been going around the camp. It sort of follows you around and spies on you. So my plan for that is to go get its attention and then just wander off into like a really quiet corner of this area and just try to stealthily take it down without anyone noticing. Could be a bit tricky, but I'll try to get that done later. For now, I just went around talking to all the other Draugr, trying to get more recruits for this little rebellion I'm planning. I found this guy. He seems to be some sort of stonemason or whatever, and he was looking at these destroyed ruins and trying to figure out any information he could about them. And he asked us to have a look at it because he said he could use like a fresh pair of eyes because he thinks there's something here that he's missing or whatever. and he's been staring at it all too long, and he can't see anything strange anymore. So he just asked us, and we had quite a few skill checks to go through here. I think that I passed the one about history, or I had to roll again. I think that I passed it this time. Yeah, there we go. We realized that this destroyed statue was like a Shar statue, and that this is an ancient fortress. Uh, but I think it would have been better if we brought Shadowheart along here. She might have had something to say about all this stuff. But currently, my party, I think I had Lizelle here or something, because I thought we could use her abilities to, jump around a lot more in this area. Because it seemed like there was a lot of stuff like above us to climb on, and that would come in useful to have Lizelle here, because she can really jump further than anybody else, and she's got all these athletic abilities. Excuse me. So I might just pass a few more skill checks. I failed quite a few as well, but yeah, I think I used my bard skills to tell this guy sort of the history of what I thought was going on here, and he seemed to find that pretty interesting. And I think we were basically describing like the myth of the adamantine forge or whatever you call it, and it's supposed to have this big magical protector. Um, so I'm gonna probably run into that later, because that's another one of my main quests in this area, is to find the adamantine forge that we read about in I think it was a book I picked up. I traded with this guy quickly, and then that was sort of all we got out of him. Didn't really get to recruit him into our rebellion or anything, but I thought it was worth talking to as many people as possible. Um, so I found these two like ox things or whatever. Tried to use animal handling to sort of figure out what they were doing. Accidentally failed that. Didn't want to reload just for that skill check, so I just let that be. And I went along, found these skeletons with these like damaged dark armor or whatever. I thought it might be a bad idea to wear this armor. It seemed like it could be cursed or something. The dark Justicar armor, but I was like, okay, I'll take their items. It could be useful. And we got some dialogue from Karlak here, who was like, it looks like something bad happened here or whatever. Managed to pass this skill check, and we looked closely at the skeletons, and it turned out they were like soldiers of Shar or whatever, and it seems like the same religion that Shadowheart follows. So again, I probably should have had her here so that she could comment on all this stuff. But yeah, my party was just set up differently at the moment. So maybe on a second playthrough, I'll be aware that I should bring Shadowheart to this temple or whatever. So I just found this chest, unlocked it, stole some stuff. Nothing too great, just a pretty decent crossbow or whatever. Again, this orb was following me all over the place and trying to keep an eye on me. I thought this would be a good area to take it down, but then I ran into these guys who were tormenting these oxes or whatever they're called. He wanted us to whip them back into shape. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try to do that. But I examined the area first to figure out what these guys were doing. Why they wanted the ox to like sort of break down this barrier. And it looked like there were shards of adamantine or this really rare metal laying around out here. So we figured out that that's probably what these guys want. So I spoke to the ox or whatever. Used animal handling, and I actually passed this skill check. I convinced it that I'm its friend, and that the Draugr are his enemy, and Lizelle approved of that. And then the ox just went off to fight these Draugr, and we decided to join in because I thought the ox might get beat up pretty easily if we didn't step in. So I just started attacking. And I thought it would be good to get these ox on my side, So they might be able to help take out the other Draugr in the other areas later. We'll see how that goes. These guys weren't that bad to take down. We sort of took them unawares. And of course, we do have our big ox friends helping us out now. I shrouded this first guy. The ox bull rushed those two enemies and sent one flying off the edge. So that really helped us out because it took down another enemy. We wiped out this first guy pretty easily. Then we ran up to his friend. I think he went down pretty easily as well. I just wheeled on him with Lizelle. Then both oxes were surrounding this guy too, so he was pretty much screwed. There wasn't much he was going to be able to do. I think that Astarion take him out here. Yeah, there we go. And then we just took all this stuff these guys had. They had some adamantine, but it was like a really destroyed version of it. That's not going to be that useful. We talked to the ox guy again. We convinced him to break down this passage for us, so we could get in there to see if there was any more adamantine or whatever. And they didn't really have anything else to do for us, so we went in here. I kept saving all the time because I was just a bit nervous of getting into like a really tough fight or something. Found this devil mask or whatever it was called. It seemed like some of these items seemed like they might be cursed or something, so I was a bit wary of wearing them. Because this game, it seems like a lot of the items you pick up aren't what they seem sometimes, and they might have like negative effects on you. But I decided to go along this path anyway, and search for some like rare material, because I was kind of looking for the forge at this point. And I thought because we saw like traces of adamantine this way, that this might be the way that leads us there. Found this orb of dark vision. Wasn't quite sure what it did. I think it was something to like help us see in the dark or something. So I messed around with that a little. Ran into some traps. I think I disarmed this other one. Seems a bit of a strange place to place any traps because this bridge is out. And we can't really get across here unless we use Misty Step or whatever. But I ran around upstairs for a while, and then I saw this path here. I decided to jump to it because it looked like it would would lead us somewhere interesting if we jumped over here. So I sent Lizelle ahead to sort of scout on. And then that was the original opening area down there where the near guy's trapped behind that door. So I just explored around here because I thought this might be what leads me to some like interesting area. I found this mold, which is for a weapon, and I was like, okay, if we're finding molds, that means we must be on the path of the forge, because they would only place a mold around here if you were going in the right way to find the forge where you can eventually hopefully use this mold. That was the longsword mold. And I think there's quite a few different other molds around here. So yeah, I went this way as Lizelle. She's our best like athletic character who can jump and run pretty far and stuff. So I just sent her to scout ahead because I thought she's not gonna get trapped anywhere. Found another mold on this guy. Found these levers that move this platform around, and I figured out pretty quickly that I needed Lizelle to stay here while I went back and got my other characters and moved them onto the platform, so then I could probably move them over here while Lizelle stayed here. So that seemed like what this was for. So I just swapped back to the other characters. I think I made Astarion jump across here. He's pretty good at jumping as well, but he's not as good as Lizelle. Oh wait, I actually ran back up here. Oh yeah, I triggered some traps on the way over to this area. So there was this big flamethrower that was going off. But I did remember there was this ladder over here, and there was this platform that I could jump on. So I decided to go this way, and everyone could go this way, really, and make it to where Lizelle was. So all my objective markers were over here. So this seemed like the right direction to go in, really. Again, just saved in case I was getting into like some really dangerous area. I swapped back to Lizelle after I'd placed everyone on the platform, and as expected, it allowed us to sort of jump to a like new area. Just about managed to get in here. It's really cool how the platforming and stuff works in this game. Like you wouldn't expect there to be like so much platforming and stuff in a game like this, but really, if you could see an area and it makes sense for you to jump there, they will let you do it. That's really just a cool way to explore. Find another mask on a skeleton. Find this diary, and I found another few molds around here. And I was pretty sure that this was the forge. So I looked down these stairs and I saw it was definitely the forge because the like quest marker was over here. So I ran around up here a bit first, trying to find some more molds and some material to use in the forge, because I didn't want to get down there and not have the right items to like make something. But again, I ran into some more animated armor. It seemed to be quite similar to the armor that was at the Arcane tower. So I was wondering if we were going to run into the Lenore character, who apparently lived at that tower. We found her diary and we heard about her from the Mind Flayer guy, but we didn't see a Lenore while we were there. So I was wondering maybe she's at this forge or something somewhere. But maybe this armor was unrelated. It's just some cursed Dark Justicar armor or something like that. But I took them down pretty quickly. It wasn't too bad of a fight. But yeah, I just wanted to get these guys out of the way because I didn't want any enemies around here when I was trying to operate the forge and try to figure out how that worked or whatever. So we took them down pretty quickly. Wasn't too tricky to get rid of these guys. They weren't the strongest enemies ever. They weren't pushovers like it, and they did some damage to Aztarian and stuff here. But I still managed to take them down pretty quickly. There we go, and we got 75 XP each for that. So I think I just ran around and robbed all these skeletons. Most of them didn't have anything that useful. And I'm at a point now where I have like 5,000 gold or whatever. And I haven't really been picking up every single sword anymore the way I was in the beginning. Just because it isn't really that worth it anymore to hoard all these weapons. I just take the really valuable stuff and leave the more standard stuff laying around. So of course I ran into this lava area. I noticed something glowing over there, some big silver thing, and I was like, could that be adamantine or something? So I used Karlach because I thought she should be fire resistant, but it didn't really help her against the lava, to be honest. I started trying to mine this stuff, but bashing it with the sword didn't really work. I used a pommel strike, and that actually did do a bit of damage. But I couldn't do it again, so I think I searched around here for a smoke bomb or whatever, a smoke powder bomb, and I just threw that at it, and that got me some mithril ore. And I thought I would definitely need that against, like, to use the forge down here. Found this little hidden area as well where I had to jump over this platform, avoiding lava, exploding lava, and like another creature. Found this little adamantine chest with Karlach. I don't think I kept it in the video, but I picked that up I took that back to camp, and it turned out there was like an enchanted locket with a ghost in it or something. Um, so I'll investigate that another time. But really, today I just wanted to operate the forge and see how that worked. So I put in one of the molds. I think it was a melee or not a melee, medium-sized armor mold that I put in, and I put in some of the mithril ore that I found. Um, and then I just tried to figure out what I was doing here. Oh yeah, you had these levers to pull. I thought something strange was going to happen, so I made sure to save before I pulled it. Because I just remembered there was the big magical guardian that we'd heard about in the story that we were telling to that Draugr about what stuff, the history of this area or whatever. Um, so yeah, you had to turn this valve to get some lava in here so that the forge could make your item correctly or whatever. And this big mechanical beast guy, he came out here, and we got into this sort of boss fight. Uh, I thought the best way to damage him would be for to lure him into the center of the room, and then use an arrow to like pull the lever to bring down that big hammer and crush him. Unfortunately, the first hammer blow wasn't enough to take him down. And it seemed like the only way you could injure him is when there's lava on the floor that heats up his armor and overcharges him or whatever. So I had to get the lava back into the room and then pull the lever again. But that still wasn't enough. I needed a third hit on him. So he got up again. I thought the lava should still be weakening him. But he actually wasn't weakened that time. So I wasn't sure what was going on here. I think I had to just wait for the lava to go away so that I could reset it like for a third time. And I had these flying gremlin things or whatever you would call them. They were coming in to make life a bit more difficult. They're not too tricky to fight, but they're just annoying you while you're trying to concentrate on this big guy. So again, I was waiting for him to sort of get up because dropping the hammer on him in this state didn't seem to be doing anything to him. So yeah, he finally stood up. He started stomping around in the armor, and then he started glowing red again, and that seemed like it was the perfect cue to drop the hammer on him again. And thankfully, that time when I pulled it, it actually worked, and that took him down pretty easily. And now I just had to get rid of these flying, these annoying little flying guys. Again, they are pretty simple to take down. They just there's just always quite a few of them when they show up, and it just takes a little minute to take them all down. Shadowheart was accidentally standing in some lava here, so I was trying to keep her alive, but she kept like falling in the lava and stuff. So that was kind of annoying, but I just did my best to keep healing her and get her back up again. But I think in the end I accidentally like let them die by mistake. And then I had to go talk to Withers for the first time and just get him to resurrect them. I don't know if that's going to have negative consequences if you use Withers to resurrect people or not. Normally I use one of those reviving scrolls if someone goes down like that. But yeah, I think this was the first time I had to travel back to camp. Everybody was all injured and dying and stuff, and my main character actually died before I could heal them. And then Karlach had to go and get, I think was it Shadowheart? Or was Lizelle, and my main character went down, so I had to go talk to Withers. First time I've actually had to do this. I mean, I could have used like 2 reviving scrolls on them, but I was like, I might as well use Withers for once. I mean, what is the point of having him if you don't use him? Shadowheart and Will actually really approved of me doing this. So I guess it was good just for that to get some approval from my party members. So yeah, brought back my main character and Lysel. Um, it would have been pretty funny if they had some dialogue about being in the afterlife or something and being brought back. But yeah, we'd all leveled up after we'd done the forge thing. So I just quickly leveled up all the characters. Everyone's level 6 now, I believe. So I unlocked like a new spell for my bard character and some new spells for everybody else and some new abilities and stuff. I think the top level, I think I read now, because I did research it a little, was that it's level 12, which seems quite low, but you really do level up pretty slowly in this game. Uh, so maybe it's not as low as I thought. But anyway, after I did the leveling up, I went back and picked up my armor from the forge. And it seemed like this would be pretty decent uh, medium weight armor. I was gonna give it to Karlak, but then I thought my bard character they're pretty weak, to be honest, when it comes to defense. So I thought I'd better equip that armor on my character, and it looks pretty decent on them, to be honest. I do think I like the look of my old armor more, but this one seems like it'll be an improvement, so I just equipped it on my main character, and I'm pretty happy with it. I then used a second mold, the short sword mold, or the long sword mold even, to get this adamantine sword. It wasn't as good as the sword that I was currently carrying, so I decided I would give that to Shadowheart or something, because it said that when you land a hit with that sword, it's guaranteed to be critical, and that seemed like something that Shadowheart might find useful. But yeah, that's basically it for today. Cleared out the Arcane Tower, did that little Mind Flare quest, and I found the Adamantine Forge and forged some weapons and stuff. So the next time we're probably going to get along with the main quest, uh, or the main quest in this area, which is to take down that near guy. Still trying to infiltrate the Draugr and turn as many of them against him as possible, so that when it comes to fighting them, we'll have divided their forces, hopefully. But yeah, thanks for watching, people, and I'll see you again next time with another Baldur's Gate video.